Scorpio, welcome to your weekly reading for July the 4th to the 10th. Let's get started and see what messages we have for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Keep in mind that these are general readings and will not resonate for everyone. All right, Scorpio, let's see. What is the major message or major theme of your week? Take a moment. Interesting. It says here, stop. Now is not the time to rush into a decision that you're about to make. Before this important decision can be made, take a moment to pause and quiet your mind so that you can ask your soul for the guidance before you act or move forward. Take a moment. So this isn't the week to be rash. This isn't the week to be impulsive. This may not even be the week to take any action towards something that you're feeling sort of impulsive about. You may need to sort of just reflect on it more in order to make sort of the wisest choice for yourself. Very interesting. Pause and quiet your mind so that you can ask your soul for guidance. Let's see what the tarot cards will reveal to you this week, Scorpio. Ooh. Oh, interesting. Okay, I'm not going to take all of those that just flipped over in my hand. You've got the Four of Pentacles and the King of Rods. Very interesting to see come together. Let me get the other cards first for your top row. Four of Wands in reverse and the Ace of Cups. Beautiful. Okay. So your first row is sort of telling me where you're at right now in the present moment. So in the present moment, I feel like you're focusing on limits and lack. So no wonder you got the message of take a moment, because right now, if you were to make a decision, it might be based on sort of feeling lack, scarcity, fear, and being blocked and not necessarily feeling entirely grateful for everything. You know, you're sort of looking at what's missing instead of what you have. You know, that Four of Wands in reverse can really be a time where we forget to be grateful. We're feeling so disconnected, and we're getting kind of caught up in the drama of life as opposed to seeing the abundant, infinite nature of our lives. So this, this happens to us all from time to time. So there's no judgment here. But it does seem like you're being guided to just sort of stop and not take any action, because it might be one that won't actually be in your best interest. It might be one that will lead to more limits and more fear around this idea of scarcity rather than abundance is sort of hitting here. That Four of Pentacles is your miser energy, where we're hanging on so tightly to things because we're not really able to be in flow, because we see that if I let go of what I have, I'm never going to get it back. Do you know what I mean? So it's time to sort of be more grateful for what you have, and to know that you live in an infinitely abundant universe, and to change your perspective using your will. So there's the King of Rods, who's the ultimate in willpower. It's your that is your Leo energy. So it's very fiery and very much able to sort of be confident and trust itself. You know what I mean? This is a time where you're sort of being guided to lead things with a different energy than you're holding right now. You know, you might be holding the energy of someone who is sort of explosive or impatient, or again, not feeling completely secure in the material world. So it's like you're being guided to just hang on a second before you do anything. And then I love seeing that Ace of Cups there, because that really tells me that there's this beautiful new connection, or a new beginning, or an awakening in your heart center that's going to cool you down, because it feels kind of like you could be sort of rash and impulsive right now. And so that Ace of Cups is almost coming in to sort of remind you of the oneness of this universe, that there's nothing to fear, that it's not scarce. You don't need to compete with others. You can be whole and grateful and sort of in this moment where you're open to the possibilities of life. right? And you trust that there are possibilities in life, that you're not doubting what I'm saying when I say that you're not thinking to yourself, what possibilities, if that's where you're sitting, then it's definitely not time to take action, because if you take action now, it could be too hot-headed. And you might come in charging with a lot of will and energy towards something, but it's misplaced because there's the 10 of Wands. You're just, you need a break for a sec. You do need to take a moment, take a break, step away from this, do something else. You got to shift your perspective. There's the Ace of Swords, Four of Cups, last card in this row. There's the Knight of Cups. Yeah, there's something that is moving towards you that is really, really beautiful, I feel, but you're going to have to shift your perspective in order to be open to receive it. Because right now, I don't know, it doesn't feel like you're in an open space at all. It feels like you've sort of shut down a bit here. And so you're really being guided to take a minute, take a moment, take a beat here, and to see how the sword is pointing back down on you. So it's really time for you to shift your perspective when it comes to something that you might feel sure of. You're overanalyzing something. You need to sort of experience things in a different perspective. And that Four of Cups is saying the same sort of thing to me, that right now you could be so distracted that you're not able to see that there is something beautiful coming through the mountain. If you have a look at that card, you can see there's something coming through. It's the Knight of Cups offering you something wonderful, but you can't see it right now because you're so low. You're feeling very pessimistic. It's time to feel grateful. These two fours are speaking volumes right now, and I love that there's this beautiful reward here. Ace of Cups, Knight of Cups. Like, if you can somehow get out of your own way this week and take a minute before you rush to conclusions, before you rush to action, before you decide that you can't possibly continue. That 10 of Wands is also very interesting. It's sort of making me feel like it's almost like you're having a really hard time letting go of something and you're exhausted. It's almost like you need to stand up for yourself, or someone could have expectations of you that are just frustrating you and you're not able to sort of meet those expectations. And so you're sort of just feeling really frustrated. It's interesting. It's like you need to release your burdens and let the universe know that you're open to receiving help. Because you're carrying a lot of stuff all by yourself, back and forth, back and forth. 10 wands on your back is a lot. And it's sort of like it's time to streamline things. Sometimes letting go of a limited belief or like a behavior that we've trained ourselves over and over again to adopt and maintain, it's just not serving us. It's almost like you've got to let go of some of this baggage that you're carrying around from experience to experience, and start to feel grateful for everything that you do have, instead of thinking about the day you're going to lose everything and suffer losses. And I say that because of this Five of Pentacles, but it's in reverse on the bottom of the deck, which says to me that you're going to start to see a turning around on things, but you need to shift your perspective first. Just like this card said, take a minute, take a moment and shift your perspective. Notice how the butterfly is on her mind, right? Like, we want to transform the way we're thinking. We want to transform those subconscious beliefs. We need to quiet the mind so that you can sort of go forward on these sort of a new understanding that actually serves you towards this new beginning and this beautiful new offer. I feel like you're going to be presented with something, but you might miss it if you're feeling so pessimistic. You might miss it. You might just not see it because you're busy looking at what you don't have instead of what's right in front of you in some ways. Very interesting. Okay, Scorpio. Let's see what message you'll receive from the final oracle deck. This deck is gigantic. The cards are massive, so it's really hard to shuffle in front of the camera. Just bear with me. There we go. I'm just going to cut this deck, and we're going to take the card for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Surrender. I love it. Be receptive, release the need to control, listen to your heart, and remain present. Talk about like just saying it in a few words, you know, like the only thing this card is missing is the idea of being grateful, but being receptive and holding a more positive outlook by staying in the present moment as opposed to hanging on to these past burdens and letting them influence you into the now. Look around and be in the present, you know, and resist this need to control everything. Just let it go. Be receptive to what your intuition is saying to you in this moment. If you can take that moment of quiet that is referred to here, then you'll be able to sort of hear the guidance from your higher self, what feels really right to do in this moment. You know, if you listen to your heart, when you release the need to control and surrender. I mean, look at that image. It's just someone who's just completely listening to their heart and being guided by spirit instead of by this pessimistic, limited belief that you're holding right now, Scorpio. I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you so much for joining me for this reading. If it's resonated for you, please consider subscribing, liking, sharing, commenting. It's so nice to connect with you through these readings. I'm sending you so much love and light, my friends. Have a great week. Take care.